What up, Blue Jays? Sean Blue here. I am going to be talking to you guys about Israel Keys, the serial killer Israel Keys. Um, Israel Keys was just captured a few years back where he committed suicide in his cell. And that's another mysterious one, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Did Israel Keys kill himself or did someone else kill him? With Jeffrey Epstein, I believe somebody else killed him. But with Israel Keys, I honestly do think that he might have killed himself. But, or maybe not. But, the reason that I think he killed himself is because I don't think he wanted to do the rest of his life in prison or on death row. And also, when he killed himself, underneath his bed, there were 12 pictures. 11 of them were skulls, and the other one was a pentagram, because Israel Keys was a Satanist. He was into Luciferianism. He was, practicing Satanist. Whether he was Luciferian, Satanist, whatever. He worshipped the devil. Let's just say that. And he comes from a white supremacist background where he had white supremacist beliefs. And I'm not saying that all white supremacists are serial killers. That's absolutely not true. Same with, I'm not saying all Satanists are serial killers. That's absolutely not true. But what I am saying is, these weird pictures that were found underneath his bed, the skulls might have represented his victims. He might have been saying that he murdered 11 people. Whether that's true or not, what those skulls really represent, who knows? But a lot of people think that those skulls represented 11 people that he killed. And there are a few murders that they could tie to Israel Keys, particularly this one young woman. I think she was 18. She was murdered by Israel Keys in Alaska, where she was kept in a freezer for many days. And he even pretended that she was alive much later than she really was by taking a photograph of her with her eyes sewn wide open, even though she was dead for many days before that. And even he killed this young woman and he put her in a freezer. Then he went to a family reunion for a little bit. Then he came back and that's when he did the picture with her eyes wide open. It's really eerie. You can see it on the internet. A picture of her just sitting there with the newspaper in front of her to say what day it was. And Israel Keys preyed on men and women throughout the whole country. And he got rid of their bodies usually in Indian reservations because they have a lot of land and a lot of deserted land, like especially in I think it was North Dakota or whatever, with the Sioux Indians. They have a lot of like this open land there. I don't know if Israel Keys ever got rid of any of the bodies there, but yeah, that's a place to get rid of someone if someone can go missing there. That's for sure. And but and like I said, like Israel Keys was always disturbed. Like he murdered a pet cat of his back when he was a teenager in front of some of his friends, and his friends were disturbed by it. And Israel Keys was kind of surprised by that they were disturbed by it, so he knew never to do something like that in front of a friend again because he realized that he's different than them. And people said that he might have had ties with Timothy McVeigh, the Mad Bomber, and along with other like famous like white supremacists too. So Israel Keys is a very mysterious person. He might even had government ties. Believe it or not, he was kind of like a special forces soldier because he would travel to South America. He would travel all around, and he was a part of the army for a little bit. So Israel Keys is another one of those weird serial killers that has government ties. Whether they really were using him, who knows? But he might have been a special forces soldier for them, and and there's other like mysterious deaths that they said that Israel Keys might have done. They're not too sure. There was a man that was tortured to death in his garage that they said Israel Keys might have done, but not necessary. It could have been someone else. And Israel Keys is a very mysterious killer, and unfortunately, he died with a lot of secrets. He killed himself, or somebody else killed him for whatever reason. To silence him, or just for him to silence himself, and he doesn't want to say certain things. And like I said, he preyed on men and women, and he raped men and women, he killed men and women, and he practiced necrophilia on the bodies. So yeah, Israel Keyes is a very disturbed and a very evil person. And whether he worked alone or worked with other people, who really knows, at least for now. Hopefully more people do research on this mysterious killer. He's another one that's like the Golden State Killer, another like kind of like killer that has like a lot of kind of weird government ties and kind of seems like a special forces soldier. He's very skilled in overpowering people. It's really disturbing.